All right, welcome back, guys. This is Remy Sanchez from Energy Fitness Gymnastics. And today, we're gonna work on the intermediate version of the forward roll, which is the handstand forward roll. So, why don't we begin once again, as we are going to do a warm-up, then we're gonna practice the skill, and then afterwards we'll do a little condition. So, let's begin with a warm-up. Let's run in place. As you know, do this for 10 seconds, and when you're done, we can just walk, march in place, get the feet moving. We're gonna add in a new skill just to mix it up. These are butt kicks. Do these for 10. So, this is gonna be a little bit more advanced. This is a candlestick roll to a position jump. As we went over in my last video, we have 4 specific positions that we will be doing, which is a straight jump, a tuck jump, a straddle jump, and a pike jump. Now we are going to add a candlestick stand up here. So it will look like such. Arms up, roll back to candlestick, stand up, jump. Do that for 10 seconds. The next one will be with a straddle. Go here, stand up, straddle. Then it will be a tuck jump. And lastly, the hardest one will be a pike jump. All right, once you've done this, the next thing that we are going to do is a hollow plank to get our body ready for a handstand. Today we are going to do this on our elbows. So, put our elbows down. Make sure that your butt is nice and flat. Your core is engaged and you have a nice round back as a mad cat, and you are balancing for 10 seconds. Boom. Once you've done that for 10 seconds, the next thing we will do is, this is a start in a lunge, scale, and then put your hands down. Today we're gonna do this against a wall so we can practice reaching out as opposed to reaching down in our handstand. So here, what we're going to focus on is a scale, a lunge, scale, put your hands down. This right now, the goal is to reach as far forward as possible and lifting your back leg. Arms by ears in a beautiful lunge. Go to one foot, reach forward, and lift your leg. Do that a few times until you're comfortable. The next thing is we are going to do the same thing, but as low as possible and as far as possible. Arms up, scale, reach out, and lift the leg. Make sure your leg is not bent, but is nice and straight, and try and bring it as high towards the ceiling as possible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time to learn the skill of the handstand forward roll. So, since we already have our handstand and we already have our forward roll, what we are going to do is a few exercises that work on combining. Now, the first exercise that we are going to do is exactly that. This is a forward roll from lowering down from a downward dog. So we will start in a downward dog, and what you're going to do is practice lowering your head down into the beginnings of a forward roll. You're going to go here, go down, and up. Make sure that it's on the back of your head, not on your face or the top, but the back. Lower down and up. Do that 10 times. In a handstand forward roll, we are going to land in a candlestick. And one of the main dangers of this is many children and also adults, myself included, sometimes get a little bonk from our knee. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in this position in a candlestick, and what I want you to do is bring your knees all the way down to the floor and watch them. Watch them, watch them, watch them until you roll, so that you can know where they are, where your knees are in comparison to your face, and they do not collide. Once you get comfortable with this idea, and once you get comfortable with the first two, it's time to actually bring your hip even higher. For this skill, for this next exercise, we are going to use a block. or you may use a chair at home, whichever is more convenient to you. We're going to do basically the same thing. We're going to start in a downward dog, but our feet are going to be even higher. And what I want you to do is lower down and touch, and then roll. Stand up. Do this 10 times until you are comfortable. Make sure that when you lower yourself down, it is on the back of your head. This will be the easiest and the most safest way to do it. Now, when you're comfortable with this and when you understand the ideas of this, we can start with the next thing, which is go even higher. And this time, walk our hands even closer to the wall to better understand what it's like to do a forward roll from a handstand. So, put your back against the wall, put your hands down, walk up as high as you feel comfortable, and walk your hands as well, close to the wall as possible. Lower down, watch your knees, stand up. All right, so we understand what it's like to roll from a handstand. Now let's talk about getting up into one. So, since we are intermediate, we already understand the dynamics of the handstand. However, why don't we do a little refreshing? The first one is, what's important about this skill is the beginning, which is the lunge. We start in the lunge position, and this exercise will teach you to reach out. Since a forward roll is you go outwards, you make distance as opposed to going under yourself. The goal here is to go to one foot and then reach to the wall. This is so that you learn how to reach out in a handstand. And it's to evade this. So what we're going to do once again is go to one foot and reach out. Now, once we understand this, we can go even lower. Go to one foot, reach out, and bring your feet as high as possible. Cool. The next thing that we're going to do is practice this skill, the lunge scale L handstand, but we're going to do lunge scale forward roll to understand what it feels like to kick off of one foot with your forward roll. Go here, scale, forward roll. So now once we understand that we need to reach for a handstand, it's time to apply it to the handstand. So the first thing that we're going to do is assume our lunge position. Boom. Afterwards, we're going to go to a nice scale, put our hands down, kick up, and down. We're going to do the lunge scale handstand, L handstand, transition down to the forward roll. And we're going to practice this. And now that we understand of kicking off with one leg, we're just going to bring our hips even higher. So we start legs together, lunge, scale, push up, roll. Now, there are a few things that we have to understand, a few safety tips we have to understand before we try this skill. Many people, when we do this, we try to do a handstand flat back, in which we bring our feet towards the opposite wall and we fall flat. This is not a fun skill to do on a hardwood floor or even a mat. It is very painful. I suggest that we do not do it, and we keep in mind that our feet should be facing that way. We are lowering down into a candlestick. And as well as we are keeping our body in the mad cat position as we worked on in the forward roll. So, one more time, we go here, mad cat position, nice and round, scale, reach out, oh boy. Do that one more time. So, we are going to maintain the round back, the scale, as well as keeping our feet towards the wall behind us. Lunge, round back, scale, up, candlestick, forward roll. So, we're going to do the full handstand. And we put this exercise in this video in order to emphasize two things. The first one is to keep a nice round back, or a mad cat, as we explained in the first video. The second is in order to squeeze our bottom so that our feet are in the right position to lower down into a forward roll. So, I start here, I start in a lunge, my bum is already squeezed, my back is already round. Go to scale, and go up. and down. Do that a couple of times until you feel comfortable with those two techniques. Okay, now we are there. We're at the finish line and we are ready to start the handstand forward roll. We know that we have to keep our back round. We have to keep our bum in, or bum squeeze. We have to bring our hips up and lower down to the back of our head. It is time to connect everything. So, from the beginning, we're going to go into a lunge, round back, bum squeezed. We're going to go to the scale, kick up, roll to candlestick, and stand up. And congratulations, once you get it, you have a handstand forward roll. We did our warm-up. We worked on the aspects of the skill, and now it is time to condition the body in order for it to be strong enough for the skill. Now, there are a few aspects that we need to focus on, and the first one is lowering down with safely and with control. So, the first one that we are going to do, the first exercise that we are going to do is a downward dog push-up. So, what we're going to do, feet slightly apart, put your hands down a little bit in front, tuck your head, and lower down, and push up. Do this 10 times. The next one that we are going to do is a candlestick jump. Arms by ears. Roll back the candlestick. Grab your knees. Jump. And down. Once again, do this 10 times. The next thing that we're going to do is a hollow plank on your hand. To condition your core so that you can maintain yourself in the handstand and lower down, maintaining a good and nice shape for your candlestick as well as your handstand. What you're going to do is put your hands down, feet straight out, squeeze your bum, round your back, and hold. Hold this for 10 seconds or a little bit longer if you feel ambitious. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is a needle kick. This is going to work on strengthening and also use flexibility to kick up into a handstand. What we will do is start at a lunge and focus on having both legs. You'll go up and have both legs straight, like so. Now, an important thing about this exercise is before we go into it, make sure that we're going into it with hips square. So, if both your fingers are on each hip, both are pointing in the same direction. Make sure that you're not here, because that's not how we do a handstand. You keep them here. So we go here, straight leg, hip square, and kick. And then the last thing we will do is a simple position stretch. We will do, once again, straddle and pike. Keep your legs together, slightly out. And we will go to one foot. Hold for 10 seconds. Go to the other foot. Hold for 10 seconds. And then afterwards, if you feel that you want to be more advanced, you can go forward. The next one that we're going to do is bring our feet together. Point our toes, arms by ears, and reach. If this is an easy stretch for you, you may flex your feet and grab, and go as far as you can. One of the most important basic skills, basic stretches that we have in gymnastics is a split. Now, what we're going to do first is we're going to work on this split alignment. You're going to see the difference between both kinds of splits, and it's important that you understand what your body is doing when you're in the split, which split you are doing, so that you can correct yourself in order to do the split that you wanted to. I will begin with the dancer split, because that one is easier, and most people habitually get into that. And then I'll show you how to fix it and correct it. Now, this is the split. This is the dancer split. Your foot is turned out here. What you're going to do is roll it under, bring your hip forward. If this hurts or if this is hard, simply go up so that your hips are in the right direction. It doesn't matter how low you are, it matters about that you're doing the position right and that both hips are facing in front of you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Remy Sanchez. I am here with Energy Fitness, and I hope to see you next time.